Hey everybody, Robin here. I am doing a surprise session. So people probably pop on here if they see it. I am working on a painting and we're going to just kind of talk about what happened yesterday to me. And so this is the Tree of Life. Let's see. There's going to be a pyramid. I'm going to do the earth back here. We have the, this is the white building I saw, and then it is all up on pillars. So these pillars are kind of like Grecian pillars that you see in Greece. And so these pillars will be holding this whole building up. This is the Hall of Records. So this you probably can't see right here, that this is a round oracle, and it is on a pillar. And this is going to be kind of like, Grecian, a little bit of fire right here. And this is the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records will go to infinity, and it's almost like a portal. And then there's chairs here, so people can bring the Akashic Records out and bring it down to us, and also do recordings. So I'll kind of make that a little bit more sci-fi looking. We have building here from my dream. Let's go up a little bit higher so that light's in the way. So this is the top of the Tree of Life, which is like a boardroom. So all species meet here in the Tree of Life. That's why it's called the Tree of Life, because everything is organized from here, from all species. They have entrance and exit points. This bridge that I talk about in my vision. I will be painting all sorts of things around this table, and then I'll kind of white it out a little bit, because what I see is a Tree of Life. This is solid trunk, very magical. This is very fluid. It's almost like a jellyfish, like I've said before, jellyfish. What I'm going to work on here is the continuum of the Tree of Life comes up here, and then there is another round oracle, and this is God's essence. This is his energy. Comes here to here to here, and it goes to us. Here is another round, like a planet I'm going to paint, because here's Earth, and I was going to do that as a sun, but I'm not. And I was going to do it as moon, but I'm not. It's a planet where ships go into. So the ships that are connected to the sovereign, spiritual Elohim, Melchizedek, are kept in this planet, off-site from this planet, because this is a planet, and this is God's essence. So the channeling I did yesterday was the most amazing channel, and it was just super, super cool. And it's on my Patreon page. I'm going to keep some things on my Patreon page because I can kind of keep more control of things, and keep things on the down low for just a select group of people that are interested in it, instead of, just people that may not care as much. I will post inklings of things on here, but if you want to get the gif of that vision, it's on the Patreon page. Let's see what else. So Sata, in my vision, and I'm doing channeling, so it's going to be a recording. The channeling is from, I call it the Edgar Cayce way. And so what I do is I lay on the couch and I go into more of a trance-like, so I can see a little bit more clear. And so I think that's, super cool to be able to do that. And actually, I'm trademarking super cool. I'm putting it on T-shirts for BWH, Bigfoot Whisperers Hub. So I gave a link of some, that there's going to be some products that have super cool on there. And also I'm doing of star seeds, because all of you that are listening are star seeds, and we're I'm glad you're here. So in the vision, this is the whole scene, and it's a planet, and it's a planet where most of us are derived from. Well, all of us are derived from. We derive from the energy of the God source. And in the vision, Sata took me here. This is the bridge, and the bridge went down, and then it curved around. And I think we went out this side, curved around, and we went towards the pyramid, and then we went into this. She took me into this building, and I described this building, which is the Hall of Records. She took me to my Hall of Records, which was, I kind of had some tears when I saw that she took me there. And she showed me something, which she will show you something through me. Once she showed me the importance of a soul and what happens, why, I guess the purpose of all of this is why we have lives, why we have all these past lives, and what all this is going to equal to. And she showed me that. And so our soul will evolve, gather all this information, and then it will return back to its birth, which is the God energy. And we go here, we live with the information, we help with the information, which helps in tune all these people that conduct business in here to keep everything organized. And so it is one consciousness. This whole thing is one consciousness. Bigger than you or me. This is a lot bigger than you or me. So I'm going to paint here, and some people probably help that. Some people ask me questions on my Patreon page, and actually I want to say very appreciative thank you to Patricia and Petri for just joining my Patreon page. Appreciated. And I don't think you'll be disappointed with the truth that will be delivered on that page. And it will be, it's true. It's all true. Somebody asked me the other day why I don't do interviews and why I don't promote myself. Because I know if I did promote myself, I could grow this channel pretty big and get into my second book of channeling and go bigger and bigger and bigger. And I know of going into getting interviews, and I have just chosen not that route yet. I have chosen to stay small and quiet on a quiet platform. I don't want ego to get in the way of any of this channeling for the purpose of its own. And I haven't felt that that's the way to go. And I know other people are making a lot of money by promoting their visions and things that happen to them as an alien sense. And I just have chosen not to go that route. And I keep being told that the people that have come onto this channel, and mostly the people that are going onto the Patreon page for further knowledge. Sorry, I'm gonna move my dog's water here just a second. Here, Cammy. Here you go. I don't think she can get into it too well doing that. They're there for a reason. But everybody's there for a reason. People are commuting to a reason. Because we're gathering like-minded people. Not me, but whatever is being said through me is being gathered to the people that need to hear it, that it inspires, that it touches. It's very interesting too. What I'm finding a great interest in is my healing team are really getting to a state of consciousness that's almost equal to mine. They're seeing things. And I knew once people took it a directive to help serving other people and giving of their time and service, that they will escalate their consciousness, their awakening, because that's what it's all about. I didn't tell them that that's what this whole purpose of this is doing. Yes, it's great that we help people, but how you raise your consciousness service to your fellow man. And maybe that's why I don't do a lot of interviews. I wouldn't mind doing interviews, but I'm not here to make a lot of money. If I needed money, well, we all need money, but if I really needed money, if I ever become unemployed for any reason or anything like that, then I'd probably start promoting more, which would be understandable because it's kind of like a job then. Right now, I'm sustaining myself with my stores, my Etsy stores. I just started a store to promote some product that is for YouTube. I think it's really funny because you know how I say super cool all the time. So I'm doing a t-shirt and some products that say BWH, Bigfoot Whispers Hub, and super cool. And also a starseed blend, because that's what we all are. We all are starseeds. We all derive from what I'm painting right here. And in the vision, and I saw Petri on here. Hi, Petri. In the vision, I'm going to have to figure out how to paint this because it's like the sun, but like a crystal orb. So I'm going to have to try to figure out how to paint that, which is pretty awesome. So Petri, I just popped on here because I'm just going to paint a little bit and talk. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm glad your husband doesn't think I'm crazy. I'm glad that he liked I think you're the one that wrote about your husband on the waterfall. You know, it's really funny. Ever since I've done that channeling on the waterfall for my Patreon page, I look at water differently, and I look at it more sacred and special. And I'm sure people in California are really wishing they had more of that water, because it sounds like they're kind of in a drought right now. But let's see. Oh, I'm so excited to see what this tree of life looks like. Yeah. So basically, it's just kind of a woven. It's woven tree and leaves, and it's glittery, kind of magical. And then, as I was saying, that here is kind of like the jellyfish. I painted it on a painting. Who bought that painting? Was it you, Petri, that bought that painting? Who bought that painting of my lady with orange, and it had that jellyfish tree, which was the tree of life? This is a larger version of that. So the tree of life is the council, the galactic council that meets and organizes. And as you know, in the channeling session, souls are made here and sent out. So each soul has a plan, and it's all designed. This all is designed for us and our souls and our bodies. All of it is designed from this point, and this is the energy of God. And this will be Earth back here. Akashic Records and the Hall of Records is right there. And then these will be buildings, and we have the pyramids that were like water. I'm actually not quite sure why they have given me that information, because it's pretty, the whole key is from that channeling. And I'm shocked that they gave us that much information. So there must be a reason why we were given that much information. It was kind of shocking, yet exciting. So I guess it's time now to know the truth. And so I'm sure this will be coming out, more of the truth of the derivative of life, the tree of life, life as we know it, life as we don't know it. It will all be coming out. So that must show us how close we are to the opening of the veil, because they really opened the veil on this one. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going to be having these visions. And hopefully we can pull together when we see these visions come out, because I'm not going to be the only one with this vision. You will know that if you hear somebody with kind of the same vision, that we're all on the same page. You'll know that they are of truth, hopefully, if they don't. That's why I'm kind of keeping the vision under wraps for a select few. So it won't be stolen. If it's stolen, it's okay. People have to live with that. And if they need to steal something, they can to make money. I don't care. Well, I do care, but I don't care. Because I'm small, and if they're big and they can get the word out more, that's all right. It's just the way it is. That's just part of life. Even as a writer, your stuff gets stolen all the time. So, and you can try to protect it, but people can always change things up and things like that. So it happens to everybody. I even think Harry Potter, J.K. Tolkien, was accused of stealing some information from some other writers, and she twisted it. So everybody has things stolen from them in this field, in this life. It just happens. So I'm just going to keep painting here, working on the tree of life. If anybody's interested in watching painting, and if anybody pops on with a question, go ahead and ask. So I wasn't going to do a channeling because I realized that channeling yesterday from what Sita showed me. I asked her later, I go, what nationality are you, really? Nationality. And she said she's a mixed breed. She is part Pleiadian and she is part Syrian. And I said, so you guys, do you mix your breeds? And she goes, yes, once in a while. She goes, my parents were, one was Syrian and one was Pleiadian. I think her mom was Pleiadian. So she has a very exotic, interesting look. And that's why her emotion, she has such great emotion. And humor, I think. So one of those must have humor to them. I think it's just like we are down on Earth. Not everybody has mixed race, but she says once in a while. And it's not really looked down upon unless you're of a pure Melchizedek form. Then they kind of like to keep it contained. because of the spiritualism of it. But she says for her case, they go with the person, not the race. She was trained, she said, from a little girl to be on this council because they train, even though a lot of the council lives for quite some time, thousands and thousands, they do pass it on to newer generations, they said, which was very interesting, I thought. That's where our past lives come in. Because our past lives that we can understand, they can understand. All ages, all realms of humans, all races of humans, all galactic races. But for the most part, and I could be wrong, but for the most part, this tree of life is for the human beings. I could be wrong on that because these guys watch over the earth. Because the earth is, like she said, it's the schooling. You're there for schooling. And that's what it's all about here on earth. But not all of us stay on earth. Our past lives go other places, takes us other places, so we can be a well-rounded soul. Because I guess that's much needed. You know, with painting, you have to have so much patience. Because you see how many times I have to dip my brush. It's not like you can just paint. You have to keep dipping. And I didn't realize how much I dip until I saw one of the videos of me painting. So this is just going to be the top of the tree holding up the energy of God. Hope you guys are having a good weekend and a safe weekend and a COVID-free weekend. Had a friend's where she works. She works in the hospital, one of the hospitals in another area. And she says her hospital is reporting that they have like a couple dozen COVID-19 patients in the hospital. And she was letting me know that they actually just have one. And it's an older person in bad health anyway, which is still unfortunate. But she's so confused at how they can fabricate the truth and report something that's not exactly correct. And I said, I don't know. This whole thing is kind of a conundrum, isn't it? It's kind of silly and not silly. It's very important. I'm not sure. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. And if you pop on late, this is just from a vision I had that I'm painting. And you'll have to watch the rest of it to understand what's going on. I just am very appreciative for all of you guys. And I kind of got out of that funk. And I should know, and I should know this, that when I go into a funky spot like that and kind of get down and feeling kind of like something's suppressing me and attacking me. I should know better, but that means once I pull out of that, something is greatly going to be shown to me. That something's fighting to keep me there so I don't see what needs to be shown. I should know better. But you always forget because it doesn't happen very often. That doesn't happen very often. And I am just still in shock with what was shown to me. And I'm very happy and appreciative and thankful. And I was told that I was hoping that this would be my last past life, but I guess I'm going to keep going. But I think I'm going to go. I think you do different past lives on the levels that you are at. And I think I'm going to have different past lives now because I think I've attained some stuff I need to attain this on Earth. And so hopefully it'll be on another planet, hopefully with more intelligence. Sometimes I'm going, why didn't you give me more intelligence on this planet? I'm just like this daydreamer. I was always a daydreamer in school, always the artsy fartsy girl. And even now I work with all these highly intelligent women, and you're going, hey, I was just a hairdresser going into the medical field, so be patient with me. I kind of go, no, Robin, can't believe you made that mistake. I go, I know. My head, it just doesn't have the capacity that some of these people's heads have. So my personality makes up for my mistakes, I think. I try to make that work. So anyway. Okay, we're getting to the top of the tree of life. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm always the spontaneous one. I wasn't going to do a live video, but for those that aren't on my Patreon page, I wanted them to know kind of what the vision was that I had. Because I'm still in shock over it. I actually still am in shock over it. I just am in shock that they gave us so much information. I mean, this information is key to us in our lives, and it blows your mind. And I see now why they don't give us a lot of information at once, because you can't take it in. You're going, okay, this is just too much for my head. I can't grasp all this. I just can't do it. My head's gonna explode. And so what she gave me was pretty pertinent for everybody listening to it. And I am actually just really thankful to be a part of this. And I'm thankful that you guys are on the ride with me, because this is a ride and a journey. And very proud of my team. I call them my team. They're not my team, but I'm going to call you my team because I want to. Because you guys are doing so good, and they're elevating each one. And I think David was already elevated pretty much. But the women have been coming into so much awareness. And I'm just in their visions and things being shown to them now are exactly what I get. And so you may want to think, if you want to extend yourself and bring yourself higher, you have put service into your quandra of Ascension, because once you serve your fellow man, Ascension will exceed. And I think my team, my team, feels that and is understanding that and has been able to focus on that. And I want them to know that they're very special to me, and because they have given so much. We had a young girl that was in the hospital. Her lungs collapsed. And this team was on it, man. They were so on it. And they stayed with her until she was out of the hospital. And we all stayed with her with energy, prayers, until she's out of the hospital. And she's out of the hospital and she's recouping. And we weren't the only ones praying for her. There was several praying for her. So we just joined the rest, because there's power in numbers, you guys. There's power in numbers. And I think that's key for you. And if anybody needs prayer, even for anything that is detrimental to you in your life, just ask us. Because right now we don't have any requests. We went through all our requests of prayer and meditation and healing. And now we're just waiting for some more to come in. I took care of a few just myself, and we're just waiting for a few more to come in and get the team going. It's kind of nice to have a break in between, because we had a lot coming in at one time, and now everybody is good, and so now we're kind of resting. And a lot of the team works too, and or has their own lives. I want them to make sure that they can keep their own lives going, and so it's pretty cool. So if anybody needs anything, let us know. Be glad to help you on anything. It can be anything. If you are upset about a child, if you are upset, but it works the best. I'm finding it does work the best if the person asks for themselves directly. You can ask for other people, which is fine, but I know it works best if the person asks directly, either or for a direct family member. Okay, so we're gotten to the top of the tree. So once I do the top of the tree, I add some bronze to it, and then I put glitter on it because I want it magical. So let's see. So, hey Ashley, how you doing? I'm working on the vision that I had. So this is the tree of life that so once I get done, so you guys will kind of know what I've seen. This will be a while, I'm sure, because this is like a 36 by 24, and it's going to take a while to complete. So what else do I want to talk about? Does anybody have any questions? Oh, someone did ask me, because we talked about souls, once they're done with their lives, past lives, they return here to the source. This is source. Someone asked me about animals, and where did the animals go? Are they created, or are they born of God? There is a channeling session I did on that. I think his name was Rob, that he took care of the two planetaries that animals derive from. You probably want to re-listen to that, and I think that'll give you the truth about it. To be honest with you, that wasn't even a thought when this was happening, because I was thinking more of human. I think animals are created for companionship for us. I'm talking about domestic, not wild animals. Wild animals are for the environment, to keep everything going in the environment, but I think domestic animals are for us. They're created for us, and I think they are a helpmate, and they can help us with psychological things too, and protection and all that. So I think they have a very strong meaning, but we have a main meaning. I don't think they go directly back to here. This and is intelligence that we take from all past lives. So that's just my take on it. I could be wrong. It's just my take on it. Let's see, Ashley. Yeah, I'm feeling lots better. And as I was saying, Ashley, that I forget when I have those attacks that something big is coming. And a lot of times the opposite force knows what information might be downloaded. And so they didn't want this downloading to happen because this is very important. That vision that I gave to you guys on the Patreon page is, I don't know, to me it's the key. That was a key handed to us. And I think we need to take that very seriously. We need to ponder it, pray about it, and see what answers and more information you get on it. Because I think it was I was actually shocked that we were given so much information, to be honest with you, that they gave us some keys to the kingdom. I'm going to just say that. It was a key to the kingdom. It was a key to our soul. It was a key to our empowerment. It was a key to God's empowerment. It was a key of where we were born, our soul was born, and it was a key of going back to that power, that source, and why we need to have all these eons of lives so we can go and put our energy back here, which can the tree of life going. Our souls keep this tree of life going. And I think that is the most powerful, most, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I saw it with my eyes, and I felt it, and I was there, and I can't deny it. Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And so sometimes you get visions like that. I'm going to sneeze, sorry. Excuse me. Sometimes you get visions like that, and then you have to go into the real world, and you're going, oh, everything seems so mundane, and you want to stay with the power of that vision, and you can't, because then you have to switch it off, and you got to go back into real life. So, okay, so we're gotten to the part of the top of the tree. I think I might stop there for a minute. Let me see. I could probably do the bottom here. The trunk of the tree. If anybody has any questions, let me know. So I still feel I'm actually kind of in a quandary on why the United States is being allowed to go through what it's going through and why they're allowing these people to do this. I mean, and I'm kind of shocked, and I'm sorry, but I'm slightly disappointed in the president that was the president, that he's not having more strength in what's going on. Why isn't he manning up and helping the American people if he's really truly was truly for the American people and not for his own ego? I don't know. I'm just kind of confused at everything right now. That why isn't there something? I mean, I hear Rand Paul standing and some other senators are standing, but hey, where is some of the strength for the American people? I don't know. I probably should stop talking about it because there's no answers. Everybody says, oh, something's going to happen in August. And I go, well, it's about half over, so I'm not sure. Maybe that's something we can channel on. and see if there's going to be, if this is going to be the downfall of the United States, or if we got something else bigger coming. Where is our people helping the United States? Where is our Thomas Jeffersons? Where is our Ronald Reagans? Where are they? There has to be more men around that are fighting for the Constitution. Get their voices heard, man. Make a loud sound. Be a trumpet. You need to be a trumpet. You can't just do it silently. We need our trumpet blowers. I know that sounds weird, but we need them. Thanks, Ashley. Let me see if I can kind of still do this and kind of connect with Sata. Sata, for those that are on my Patreon page, she's the one that guided me through this vision. She held my hand, and she took me. This is the Hall of Records, so I will paint this on, because remember the building was tall, and I will paint it on columns. So the whole building was lifted up. It was all airy, all open, and it's all standing on columns, and then you lift up and go into a floor. The floor will appear. You just stop and a floor appears. It was the weirdest thing I've ever, it was kind of like, I don't know, like a sci-fi movie I was in, and I was watching just the floor lift come out after you're done traveling up. As I was holding her hand, I think the only reason I could travel was because she was allowing it. It's interesting, when I was talking about the other day the gamma rays, and I've been looking at some YouTube channels lately. Other people are starting to talk about that. And someone even mentioned gamma ray. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because that's came out of my mouth, and I don't even think I've said that word ever in my life. And so here, let me go down a little bit. See what I'm painting. You can see my paintings back there. And so I thought that was just really super interesting that other people are seeing this gamma ray. Let's see, I need some more paint. How do you like my paper plate I paint with? I paint with a paper plate. I bought a palette, and then I hate cleaning it. And so I decided to use paper plates, because once I'm done with it, I throw it away and I get another paper plate. And it has a sealant on it, so it works fabulous. And anything for less cleaning is key in my world. Let's see. Sorry, I have to read this a little bit. Just a sec. I'm going to move it up. Yes, and in my book, I brought that up. My book I did 2 years ago. As you know, I had 3 months off, and I just channeled. and typed it up. And I just used their words. It wasn't grammarly. I don't even know how you say that. I just typed there, and it was all channeling from a certain group that actually probably is this group that is here. They said that the world will be covered in dust. We will have, there will be so much dust that, or I called it sand. I think I called it sand. There will be so much that we can't leave the house because we won't be able to see. And it did that on purpose to keep us indoors. And I kept saying that we did have our energy still somehow and our water source, but the water source would become contaminated in time. So, and it's always good to have a food source for a few weeks. I mean, and I know I keep seeing the military coming out to help, giving rations to people, the police, and I see a lot of churches too trying to help out. And I just can't say it enough. It is key that we have to help our fellow man. It's just key. And to take care of your neighbors. There's going to be a time where, and that's just going to be, that is going to be a test upon you, is helping your fellow man. And it's kind of a biblical thing where the days of Moses and how they had something on their door, and the angel of death passed them by. I have a feeling that something like that will happen again. That something will be, we will be told what took place and when, and we will be taken care of, and the angels will be, basically, I believe that happened is because then the angels that are walking during the time of devastation will be able to recognize you by what the marking on your front door, because you will be inside. And yeah, dust. I saw sand. I guess I said sand in my book. That's what I said. Because I saw it where it was just too much. You couldn't get outside. Yeah, I don't know. We won't know until we know. So, because we're just in unprecedented times. I know I'm not the only one that feels that. This is unprecedented times. My life isn't the same, as it was before. Still questionable about people that are wanting to remain jab free. I did watch a show today that in Australia, which is a hubbub of something evil, a evil regime, that in Australia, they're already, and they started making arrests, and family are narking on family members that are protesting against the vaccine. They actually have put together a place, kind of like a jail, and people will be harbored in that are going against the vaccine in Australia. And I was wondering how long that was going to take place. That they're going to try to divide. I hope and pray that doesn't happen ever here. Crazy, huh? But I guess in Australia, they even are reporting on it. that it's already going down. It's already happening. And a wife reported her husband as going against the way of the government and what they want with this vaccine, or the jab, I should say. This might get clips taken down. That's okay. And he is in kind of this prison. They're trying to deem him as crazy, and he's actually on the he posted a video of himself in this jail, and it's actually kind of a nice. It's not bad, but it's he can't leave. He has to stay there. Kind of crazy. That's what I'm saying. Things are getting crazy, and I want them to stop it. I want to get back to normal. Because, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we're going to be divided. And I don't know if we'll be united. Certain people will be united, but I think you're going to have the fall of some people. So there's going to be a lot of arrests, and I don't know. I don't know if people are waiting for the time to be right. Things aren't ready yet. But maybe people are preparing underground to make a rise and a stand in a political, military way. I'm very proud. I believe it was the Marines, the man that's the head of the division of the Marines said that his Marines will not be forced to do something that they don't want to do, with something as unprecedented as this, that he's not going to force his men to have the jab. And so he's standing up for rights of human, because I think he understands once you, obviously he's not as corrupt as many, but once you take away man's right, it just will escalate from there. And we need to protect, because we're one of the last freestanding countries in the whole world. And once we fall, just think how far other countries are going to fall. So I think it's very important that United States stands strong, and the United States people stand strong, because we're not just doing this for ourselves. I really feel that we're doing this for the world, because if we fall, it's really hard to get back. But the others that are in such poverty and under rules that are stronger than ours, they'll fall harder. And it's going to be very destitute for them. And it's going to be destitute for us too. But I think we are being shown hope on some of these visions. And you have other people giving you visions of hope, of different wars that are unseen, are happening. We have to have faith in that. And I think everybody needs to be on the healing team of the whole United States, and to pray for the United States and pray for the world, and to pray that God's time will happen, and that if he wants us to be a soldier for him, then let's do it. Let's get it over with. Let's go for it. And just tell us what you want us to do, and we'll do it. And that's all I can say on that. And let's see. Hi, Lila. Yeah, it's actually turning out pretty good. It's just kind of woven. So it's going to take a lot of work. I got a lot of work ahead of me. So it'll probably take me the rest of the year. Some of these things take a lot of time. So let's see. So I think I've been on here for an hour, you guys. So I think I'm going to go. and you guys have a great week. And if you're a Patreon, pop onto the Patreon channel and listen to the download I had yesterday. It's pretty awesome. There is other sovereign beings that are watching this. You can know that. And the reason they're watching the nuclear, I think we have some people that are really trying strong to do some nuclear problematic things. And you're going to see a lot of ships coming in, and they're watching. And also, there is more than ships on this earth. There's these rods that have these little floaty things that they've been capturing all over. And they're all different sizes, from small to almost as big as an airplane. And they're catching all these on tape. And these rods are, they're organic. They're not self-propelled, they're organic. It's an organic element placed upon this earth. I'm still not quite sure for. I don't know if they're to watch, because they can go through anywhere on a blink of the eye. Our eyes can't see them, but they're being caught on tape. They are here for to watch, and they're here to float through the environment and give knowledge of any of the pollution, poisons that are in the air, and to take it back to wherever their source is. They have a source, and they're here to gather information in many areas. I think the size of it, a lot of these rods are seen going down into caves, which they could maybe drive within the lower parts of the earth. So there's just so much we don't know, you guys, and I can't wait till we know it all. It'll be super fun and super cool. So I think I'm going to say peace out. Have a great week. I pray for you all that you will have a great sovereign week, that you will find goodness and kindness in your jobs and your family, and that you will just discover the greatest love for yourself. I think if we can find love for ourselves first, then just think of the greatness and love we can give to others, because that will just come out naturally of ourselves. So, love you. Thank you so much for joining me and letting me just toot my horn and work on in my little painting on my tree of life. And I'll just keep you informed how this is going. It's going to take a long time to paint. So peace out, everybody. Love you all. Have a good day. Have a good week. And we'll talk soon. Love you. Bye.